Hi.
Hello.
This is Deltarune characters ranked by their favorite U.S. presidential candidate. So, number 1 is Noelle Holiday, who would vote for Hillary Clinton of the Democratic Party.
Noelle is like your classic, like, suburban liberal. Like, she's not she's not in the wine mom tier because she's not a mom, she's young, but she's well-meaning. She really definitely believes in, like, left-leaning values. She just doesn't realize that the politicians that represent these values are evil.
All politicians go to hell.
Yes.
All of them. Even the good ones. As a politician, they will be burning. Number 2 is Toriel, who would be voting for Jill Stein of the Green Party.
So Toriel's similar to Noelle, except Toriel, I feel like, is a little disillusioned with the Democratic Party, and the Green Party does seem exciting to someone who doesn't really look into them. But in reality, they are such a weird third party. They have gotten 1% in the presidential vote in, like, multiple presidential elections, yet they have no real power. They're not like the Libertarian Party has a little bit of power. The Green Party is nothing. And Jill Stein, like, is like a top tier grifter. Like, I don't think she believes in anything.
Yeah. Toriel may or may not know this.
Yeah.
You decide. Number 3 is Ralsei, who would vote for Bernie Sanders of the Independent Party.
Yeah. So Ralsei is like a progressive. Like, he does very much have a lot of the same progressive views that a lot of the like Bernie basically started the revolution for, but he's super annoying about it. I don't know if you ever lived through 2016. There was the Bernie Bros. They're like these people. They are annoying as hell.
Ralsei would approach you in a bar wearing a beanie and start talking about how he voted for Bernie Sanders without anyone mentioning politics. Number 3 is Carol Holiday, who would vote for Donald Trump of the Republican Party in all 3 elections that he was candidate.
So Carol, I feel, is very much the opposite of Noelle, in that she is that suburban voter, probably like, maybe like sort of like one of those voters you'll find in the South who maybe started off kind of voting, basically just voting Republican Party no matter what, maybe having some slight reservations about Trump, but then buying all into it by 2020. Like, the election is stolen, vaccines are experimental, the Democrats control the weather, like, full blown. Carol believes this, and she is mean about it. She hates it.
She's definitely from rural northern Montana.
Yes.
Absolutely. I forgot what number we're on. Sands would vote for James B. Weaver of the Popular Party?
Populist
Party.
So Weaver is like the OG progressive. He was like, anti-business, like anti-monopoly. He wanted a progressive income tax. He wanted to get the U.S. off the gold standard. And Sands, I think, would really respect that. I think he's a chill guy. I think he's knowledgeable. And I think in his heart, he is a Weaver head, a Weaver supporter.
Absolutely. Next, we have Susie, who would vote for Al Gore of the Democrat Party.
So Susie is someone who educates herself. She definitely knows a lot about all the candidates, and she just wants someone who's, like, respected and can actually do their job. And Al Gore is like the face of that. Like, he is your boss in, like, an office building who just kind of, like, interacts with you the minimum amount. Like, he does not know how to talk to you.
Absolutely. Alphys would be voting for Elizabeth Warren of the Democrat Party.
So Alphys definitely holds progressive values, and I think she likes people who are strong, who are, like, characterized as fighters, and I think Elizabeth Warren really fits that bill. And I think Alphys would also be really sad about, like, a lot of the attacks that kind of hit Warren during that 2020 campaign trail.
Next, we have Rudy Holiday, who would vote for Pete Buttigieg of the Democratic Party.
Rudy is my dad. Rudy, historically, has voted for the Democrat, begrudgingly voted for, like, Hillary, and just wants someone with someone who can speak their mind, speak it well, and actually have beliefs that are not, like, insane. And Pete Buttigieg is that. He he's progressive enough that he isn't like one of those super mega centrists, but he's also stops short of like being for Medicare for all or a lot of the big ticket progressive policies. He's like the happy medium.
Yeah, I can see that. Next is Asgore, who would vote for Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party.
So Asgore does not want to seem like he hates women. He wants to vote for a woman, but he needs like a safe pick. Somewhere like something he can't be chastised for. I think Kamala is perfect. It feels like she doesn't have that many obvious personality traits or qualities. She's just kind of a fairly respectable woman who has been in politics for a good chunk of her life and wants to run the country.
Asgore would use this as a talking point to get back with Toriel, and it would not work. Next is Undyne, who would also vote for Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party, but in a different way.
So Undyne definitely appreciates strong women, and I think she would have been a fan of Harris even from like her Attorney General days in California, and how she definitely for a little bit was like kind of getting in the mix there in the Senate and like in the media. She probably loved in the 2020 race when she like went all out at Biden for supporting racist policies in his past and then acting like he never did. I think she respects that a lot. I think she doesn't respect as much her moderating her views for 2024, but she would definitely still vote for her.
Yes. And in the same vein as the two Kamala Harris voters, first up we have Tenna, who would vote for Joe Biden of the Democrat Party because he is Joe Biden.
Tenna loves TV. Tenna loves stability. Joe Biden was in the Senate for like forever. He entered the youngest senator ever, and he left like old as hell, man. So I think Tenna really appreciates someone who just goes in and puts in the work, doesn't really give up, and who's got like an insane smile, like blinding white.
Yeah, I'm gonna overlay in editing that photo of Tenna, the smiling TV and the static looks just like Joe Biden. You'll see. But also, we have Papyrus, who would vote for Joe Biden of the Democratic Party because he's not Trump.
See, Papyrus does not like Trump at all, and really is just looking for the candidate who's best prepared to defeat him. And for better or for worse, in 2020 that was Joe Biden. And I think also Papyrus would respect a little bit that Joe Biden loved to wear these aviator glasses everywhere. Yeah. Papyrus loved glasses.
Papyrus fantasizes about wearing these glasses, absolutely. Next up, we have the Roaring Knight, who would vote for the Roaring Knight of the Independent Party.
Yeah, so the Knight is stupid. The Knight is evil. The Knight is selfish. The Knight is vain. The Knight wants to bring out the end of the world. So why would the Knight vote for anyone? The Knight doesn't care.
The Knight has their own agenda, and they're going to bring it out. Next up, we have Queen, who would vote for Michael Bloomberg of the Democratic Party.
Michael Bloomberg is like the poster boy for centrists. He was a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, and then a Democrat again. Like, he has always been like dead in the center. He's a billionaire. He leans, right now it seems he leans a little bit to the left, but he does not like where the party's going at all. He does not like AOC. He does not like Zoran or anyone like that. He just wants sensible, respectable politics without realizing that his centrist beliefs are kind of terrible. But the Queen would very much support this because centrist vibes. Easy.
Yeah, this is the most centrist person I've ever seen. Next up, we have Birdley, who would vote for Jeb Bush of the Republican Party.
Birdley is smug. Birdley wants to think that he is better than you in every way possible. So he is totally going to vote for the candidate that is the initial frontrunner, Jeb Bush, the guy propped up to be the next Republican nominee. He's going to vote for them, and he's going to have no knowledge. He's going to tout the economic policies, but know nothing. He's going to be really annoying about it too. He's going to he's going to put all those Jeb signs with the exclamation point. Crazy.
Absolutely, right in front of the house.
Yeah.
Next, we have King, who would vote for Ron DeSantis of the Republican Party.
King values evil above all else. And I think out of every candidate that has run in a major election, at least recently, Ron DeSantis is the most evil. He's like Trump, but on Adderall. I am scared that he kind of had a chance to win the nomination at one point, and he probably would have won the general election because of all the goofiness that happened.
We live in scary times. I'm sorry I've reminded you of this reality. Let's escape this reality by next going to Gaster, who would vote for Woodrow Wilson of the Democrat Party.
So Gaster, I think, would vote for someone that's seen as respectable and well-liked, but in reality, kind of sucked. I think that's Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was a racist. You know, he kind of lied to the American people a lot. He was all about being anti-war until the war started to become like a way for the U.S. to benefit, and then he just pushed for the U.S. to be in the war. So he doesn't really stand on much, but outwardly he seems like this strong guy and someone you should respect and trust. And I think Gaster got his name.
What kind of first name is Woodrow anyway? Next up we have Jevil, who would vote for RFK Jr. of the Independent Party.
Jevil likes chaos. Jevil probably, I don't know if Jevil has beliefs. I think Jevil just wants the candidate that will disrupt the most things. And RFK Jr. definitely would do that because he's a vaccine conspiracy theorist, but he also has like left-wing economic views. He's just a very weird guy and so Jevil could.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jevil also had a brain worm, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same one they shared. Next, we have Spampton G. Spampton, who votes for every candidate 5 times, but immediately gets caught and put into torture jail.
Unlike what some people might believe, widespread voter fraud has not really happened, at least not in modern election history. But Spampton would try. Spampton, not even, like, this is not even widespread, this is just, like, minor voter fraud. Like, he's not voting a lot for each candidate. He's not trying to defraud the system that much. But Spampton, you think he's good at covering his tracks? No. He's gonna get caught, he's gonna go to jail, and none of his votes are gonna count.
May I also point out, he votes for every candidate 5 times. That does nothing.
Yes.
That raises every candidate the same.
Spampton is a disruptor, but he doesn't know how to do that, so he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Next is Chris, who is a coward that doesn't vote.
Chris is the person that complains about all the politicians and the government all the time, but never votes and never actually participates in our democracy. So, like, do you even have a leg to stand on, Chris? Well, and yeah, Chris is also, like, annoying about it. Chris tells you they don't vote. Chris is like, I don't, like, Chris wears this all the time.
Absolutely. Right on their chest right there.
Yeah.
Next is Lancer, who votes for D's Nuts in the Independent Party.
Yeah, so Lancer wouldn't take anything seriously. He would very much write in D's Nuts, not even knowing that that's a real candidate that filed to run in 2016. And yeah, he would, I don't think he'd even vote in the general. I mean, maybe he would just write in D's Nuts again.
And it wouldn't get counted.
No.
Anyway, the Soul voted for whoever you voted for in 2024. Be sure to leave it in the comments below and be sure to reply to and argue with people about who they voted for. And make sure to use escalating words and threats of physical violence as you do so. Thank you for watching our presentation.
Beautiful.